SmartCon. How's everyone today? I've heard some of those rooftop parties went pretty late, so I'm glad to see everyone could make it, filling the room. So my name is Dave Uhryniak. I'm the Director of Ecosystem Development at TRON, and TRON is very glad to be able to participate in this wonderful event. And today I want to talk to you about something that I call the curious case of stablecoin coexistence. So what does that mean? So globally, the vast majority of central banks are in some stage of research and development in a stablecoin, or in what is called a central bank digital currency, or CBDC. The question is, once they develop these CBDCs and they deploy them, will they then allow non-government stablecoins to also be used as currency? And that's what we're going to explore today. So what I want to do today, how we'll proceed through this, I want to give you a little bit of overview of TRON in case you're unaware. We'll go through a bit about stablecoins, so we make sure everyone's on the same page. Then what I want to do is I'm going to step into the role of a regulator, or possibly even a politician, and look at the bull and bear case of this coexistence and what that might mean. I think that oftentimes, those of us in the industry, we look at it and we understand it and we know what's going on to some extent, and we don't necessarily appreciate what the regulatory view might be. So I want to try to take a look at that from their side. And then from there, we'll go into, well, my view and TRON's view and what we think, and then we're going to wrap it up there. So who here is familiar with TRON? That's all right, a couple in the front. Looks like a couple in the balcony. So TRON, when you think about TRON, we're actually a diversified Web3 organization. So we have a layer one that has really significant competitive advantages in terms of cost, speed, stability, security. And that's why we've been able to gather such a significant share of total global stablecoin volume. We have a cross-chain solution in BitTorrent chain. We have a side chain which ramps up transaction speeds into the nearly approaching 100,000 per second. We're the third largest DeFi platform in the world, and we have Just Lend, which is our largest DeFi application. We have an NFT marketplace, an Ape NFT. We make our own NFT games, and we also have our own stablecoin, USDD. USDD is the world's first over-collateralized, decentralized, algorithmic stablecoin. But there's something else about TRON as well. Now, I'm sure those of us in here know that sustainability is a hot topic within blockchain, right? That was the part of, at least, the motivation for Ethereum changing from proof of work to proof of stake. Well, we at TRON wanted to know how environmentally friendly or not our layer one is. So earlier this year, we engaged a company based in Germany, CCRI, to take a closer look at the environmental impact of our network. And what they found is that actually TRON's one of the most sustainable layer ones in the world. Probably, when you look at that chart, we're arguably the most sustainable layer one that there is. And that is just one more competitive advantage for our network. All right, so let's get into the stablecoin situation a bit. All right, now stablecoins, as defined by the Coinbase Institute, are digitally native payment instruments that are designed to maintain a stable value compared to an external reference asset. And so why they've come to be such a prominent topic over the last couple of years is because they've had extreme growth, unbelievable growth. right? Around the world, the use of stablecoins has really exploded and is now over $140 billion market cap. It's probably more than that, actually. And that's why there's this conversation among government types and within crypto, should these stablecoins be used as currency? And when you think of the user groups of stablecoins, you can really break it into two parts. There's consumers at the retail level, and then there's the wholesale level, which would be more institutions and large banks, things like that. There's also a variety of types of stablecoins. There's stablecoins that are backed by fiat. There's algorithmic stablecoins, which use a series of smart contracts to maintain the peg, such as USDD. There's crypto-backed stablecoins. There's commodity-backed stablecoins. And there's stablecoins that are developed by corporations, such as JPM Coin. And there's another type. It's the central bank digital currency. And this is really the government response to widespread crypto use. And it's, ironically, it's a government-backed crypto. And I say ironically because most people in crypto, aren't big fans of the government. Right? You got into crypto, and the whole point of crypto, potentially, is you want to be decentralized. You don't want that central authority controlling everything, right? So it's kind of this ironic, another government oxymoron, we should say, I guess. So when you think about can they coexist, the math is actually very simple. If the net benefits of coexistence exceed the net benefits of only one or the other, then it's a simple decision. You should proceed with it, just like figuring out a net present value or something like that. But the issues arise when you have to think about who's measuring those benefits. What's considered to be a benefit? Who's measuring the risks, right? And what's the risk tolerance around some of these things? And that's what we're going to explore now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to step into the role of a regulator, or I'm going to try to, and I want to go through maybe what they're thinking a bit about this relationship or coexistence as they explore these issues. Okay, so the first things I need to consider, I need to think about the risk to my organization. I need to understand if there's any political risk involved. I need to think about this from the consumer point of view, and really, I need to understand what the impact is going to be on the economy. So, from a regulator risk perspective, really what I want to understand is what's my personal risk? If I get behind this new digital currency and it fails, I'm done. My career is largely over because I brought down the US economy. So, that's not good. No one wants that. I certainly don't want that. And then these stable coins, they're out of our control. So we have to do something to create constraints and put, let's call them guardrails around these things so we can control them as much as possible. And then there's so many, there seems to be a bunch of different types of these things. I don't know which one is good and which one is bad. So, it's all a little confusing to me. And then, if you go out on the street and tell the average consumer walking by that the United States of America is going to start a digital currency and use crypto for payment, they're going to look at you, at best, they'll be very confused by this, right? At worst, they're going to all think this is some part of some grand conspiracy to somehow enslave the people or something. I don't know. And there's so many negative perceptions of crypto. It's, from what I know, it's considered like this thing that criminals use to hide money and embezzle and money laundering. So, I don't know. That doesn't sound good either. I don't want to be associated with that. And then financial stability, you really have to think about, seriously, what's the impact on credit, right? So the United States economy runs on lending, whether it's mortgage lending or business lending. So if we change the way currency is used, and how it's in its form, what's that impact on the providing of credit and the deposit business that fuels that providing of credit, right? And I don't think we understand it yet. I know there have been studies, but I haven't seen anything definitive. And also, I've heard this blockchain thing really enables payments to be made without an intermediary. And I know that some of my constituents make a lot of money from payments. So I'm not sure I want to get behind something that reduces the revenue of some of my key constituents. That doesn't sound like a good idea. And then monetary policy impact. You know, if we change this, can we still print as much money as we want? I don't know. I hope so. So, you know, overall, though, I got to say, I don't know if I can get behind this. But let me think about the bull case. So when I think about this, I want to consider if there is any regulatory support so far. I want to think about this market overall. Are people actually using it? And are there any real benefits? So when I think about regulatory support, it looks like the bank regulator, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, the OCC, they're allowing banks to use stablecoins and blockchain even for a lot of these payment functions. So, okay, that's good. And the Federal Reserve has come out and said that a CBDC has a range of benefits. So that's also good. So now, if I get behind this, there's support. If it fails, I can kind of blame someone. So, you know, that's good. And then when I think about the stablecoin market and the growth it's had, it's amazing. Clearly, consumers are using this. I'm still not sure why, but they are. And it's a significant market. It's being done around the world, so it seems like that the United States, as a global leader, should be participating in something like this. So that's good, too. And then, just this month, the White House put out a fact sheet where they listed all these benefits of digital assets. So, you know, that really seems like it could help a lot of people. And really, that's what we're here to do. So, you know, when I consider all these things and look at them against the bear case, you know, I think I could get behind it. So I think we'll try to move forward with this. So, all right, I'm back. So, in my view, the government is going to begrudgingly allow certain types of stablecoins, but there's going to be an extended period of study. This will be studied for an indefinite period of time until they can really understand exactly what the impact is on financial stability, meaning credit disintermediation, payment disintermediation, and monetary policy. You know, there have been some studies, but like I said earlier, there's been nothing definitive. So it's just going to go on and be continually studied. And I think if they are allowed, the regulation will at best look a lot like what Senator Toomey proposed earlier, which I believe also happened this month, to where they're only going to allow fiat-backed stablecoins to participate in the market. And even then, you know, they'll try to be as tightly controlled as possible. So that's my view. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think this is going to be any type of near-term issue, or it's going to happen in the near future. So let's wrap this up. So at TRON, we're firm believers in the free markets. You know, Justin Sun is our founder. His favorite economist is Friedrich Hayek, right? So, you know, Hayek is was a big free markets guy. We also believe in a multi-chain, cross-chain future, and we are open to collaborate with other chains. We're open to collaborate with regulators. By the way, TRON, of course, we're not an Ethereum-based blockchain, but we're the only non-Ethereum blockchain that's a member of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, right? We're reaching out not necessarily across the aisle, but we're reaching out to others in the industry to get that collaboration going, right? Because what we want to do ultimately is we're going to become the global settlement layer. And we have the competitive advantages in cost, in speed, in security, in stability, and even in sustainability to make that happen. So thanks for listening to me for a little bit. My name's Dave Uhryniak, and I appreciate you coming.